"You're so pretty, I almost crashed my car." And then proceeded to give me the explicit details of the things he would do to me. When I ran, he sped up and followed me until I found people. I was wearing a school uniform. Okay.
It started when I was a kid, and I think it was more often when I was younger, and then I would say as I got older, the types of cat calls were very different.
A cat call is any rude or inappropriate comment said to someone in public space, usually with a sexual innuendo.
On my way here, I stepped out of my house for maybe 2 minutes and I already started getting honked at. That's almost like a daily occurrence with things like that.
Some guy just like said like hot or something. I feel like I got catcalled so much more when I was like 15 and 16. So much more.
Like ever since I shaved my head, I got more comments on my hair being like, oh, you know, you don't even look like a woman, but I'd still fuck you.
I was really just like kind of tired of being harassed. So I started looking for different things that I could do to kind of combat that.
The concept of Cat Calls of NYC is to raise awareness about street harassment by writing the word-for-word phrases on the street with colorful chalk.
Physically, my knees are hurting, but mentally, I love this.
That was really like relieving, I think. Yeah, I think it felt better than I thought it would. Like write it out in a public space.
It happens all the time. It just happens in words, something that doesn't actually stick, even though it sticks with the person, you know, it doesn't actually stick in the space. So to have a cat call actually stick in the space that it was committed in, and have it impact a wider variety of people, right, rather than just the individual victim, is something that I thought was so moving and just much more effective at spreading the message.
I feel great when I'm talking. Like it really does. Like it's been such a growth experience since I was 19 and I started, and I was so shy and nervous in public space, and now I do feel really unapologetic and good, and like I'm taking up space and drawing people's attention to it, and I feel really confident and it feels really powerful.
After being involved with cat calls, if I hear something on the street, I definitely get more protective of my space. If you think about it, the dynamic of power that cat callers are operating on is that this girl can't do anything to me because I'm in a public space surrounded by people that endorse me and my message, and you're allowed to take advantage of that space in that way for your own voice. Why can't I do it in self-defense?
We're going outside to chalk a cat call that happened in Brooklyn. I'm chalking a cat call that a minor sent in, and this man said to her, "You're so pretty, I almost crashed my car," and then said more explicit things to her. Yeah, I mean, this one was really, really violent, and also this person was following the woman who submitted like up and down the platform. Yeah, it's horrible. I feel like I keep being surprised by how vulgar they are, but also I've seen the most vulgar ones.
I didn't expect it to say that, to be honest. But
We write down the word-for-word phrases of
really?
stories we get on Instagram
Yeah.
of women submitting experiences they've
It's-
had.
it's,
And we want to like draw people's attention to it because not everyone knows.
I miss it. I do. This has reminded me a lot. Here we go. Take care. Yep. See what I'm saying?
Would you consider that harassment?
Considering he didn't see what I looked like and he was just looking at me from behind, I want to say yes, but what he said, I didn't find all that offensive. I think just the like talking to me that in general, looking at me from behind, I don't know, it was more of like how he looked at me rather than what he said. So, cause like even sometimes I think people will say seemingly positive things, but how they look at you will let you know what their intentions are.
A lot of the behaviors and expectations that are enforced through daily sexism, like catcalling, sets the foundation for much more bigger and insidious things happening.
The pyramid of rape culture. So basically it's a pyramid because at the bottom you have like jokes or beliefs or ideology like boys will be boys, or like sexual harassment is flirting, it's no big deal. Above that you have the actual behavior of like catcalling, objectifying, harassment. Above that, sexual assault, physical violence, and above that you have like rape and murder. By normalizing it on the bottom and saying that this behavior is normal, that boys will be boys, that men should be able to flirt, it's then rationalizing all of the behavior and also creating a lot of anger, like if someone doesn't accept the flirting or like comments. If you change the narrative at the bottom, then there's no excuse for any of the behavior and no one gets away with it, so it becomes less normalized.
In a really cynical sense, this harassment will happen whether or not you want it. You know, there's no way that you can avoid it because it's not in your control. It's the harasser that's deciding that. And then to even feel like you have control over it, that's society's narrative of finding a way to blame the victim.
It is not about you at all, and it is completely about the person who is harassing you. You know, and it's not your fault. Like, just straight up, it's not your fault.
Society places so much importance on women's external appearance and how they look. So I think getting that validation can feel good because we live in a culture that places so much emphasis on that. To say it's not a big deal can make it easier to deal with if you just keep telling yourself it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't think it actually makes it easier to deal with, but it can be hard to admit that it is a big deal and it's harmful and it hurts and it's not okay. Because then when it keeps happening, it's, I don't know, hard to like wrap your head around, I guess.